The second you launch a desire for something, you will be flooded with doubt. You're going to be flooded with all of your fears. So and a couple weeks back, I made a post on Instagram on my story asking if you guys wanted me to start doing some Neville Goddard content, mainly because I know that many people resonate with this way of viewing spirituality and this way of viewing manifestation, because what I've come to realize is that many teachers are essentially giving out the same information, but it's done in a different way. And so some of you may resonate with Abraham Hicks, some of you may resonate with Michael Singer, some of you may resonate with Joe Dispenza, with whoever. So in today's video, I'm going to do a little bit on Neville Goddard. We're actually going to start with a quote by him and then go into exactly what this means and how this can really transform your life. Now, before I begin, I want to remind you guys that I have personal one-on-one coaching. So I have a 3-week program if you're just new to coaching, you want to try something out. But I also have a 6-week program if you're ready to really commit to the work and actually see those results. So I will work with you closely to understand what is not working in your life at this present moment and what processes can we put in place so that you can begin to see those shifts in your everyday life. So if that interests you, the information will be down below. But let's jump into the quote. So Neville says, "Doubt is the only force capable of disturbing the seed or impression. To avoid a miscarriage of so wonderful a child, walk in secrecy through the necessary interval of time that it will take the impression to become an expression. Tell no man of your spiritual romance. Lock your secret with you in joy, confident and happy that someday you will bear the son of your lover by expressing and possessing the nature of your impression. Then will you know the mystery of God said, let us make man in our image. So essentially, the reason why I wanted to talk about this quote is because I want to address the first word that he said in this quote, which is doubt, right? He's saying here, doubt is the only force capable of disturbing the seed or impression, meaning that the moment we launch a desire for something, the moment we birth an idea, essentially, right? It can be anything in life. Maybe we want to start a new business. The moment we launch that idea, it is already created, right? We are already moving towards it. So essentially what he's saying is the only thing capable of disturbing that momentum towards that desire is doubt. And so the only thing that's actually stopping that thing from coming into fruition is doubt. And the reason why this is so important is because for many of us, if you think about it, the second you decide you want something, let's say I'm setting the intention to have a nicer home, what begins to happen is our logical mind starts to provide proof as to why that's not going to be possible. And that proof essentially is our doubt. But our doubts are just based on our past experiences, because if I haven't seen something happen before, my logical mind is going to say, it can't happen. And this is why we have to use our imagination to be able to envision something different than what we've seen in the past. You know, there are so many times where people thought that something was never going to happen. And one person did it, and then a million people did it, right? Because once we know something is possible, it's a lot easier to be able to conceive it for ourselves. So when you're manifesting something, understand this. The second you launch a desire for something, you will be flooded with doubt. You're going to be flooded with all of your fears. And these fears can be related to the exact thing that you're trying to manifest, but the fears are often related to your sense of worthiness. So they're going to bring up any holes in your foundation of self, right? Any insecurity, any feelings of lack within are going to rise up to the surface, but this is a part of the process. So when you understand this, you understand that doubt is the only thing getting in the way of your manifestation. So then your work is, how can I overcome this doubt? So the way that I teach my clients to do this is to understand that doubt is just a thought. It's a thought that you've believed for a very long time. And you've believed it because you've thought it over and over again, or you've seen it, right? So we believe something often because we've seen it time and time again. But understanding that this illusion is designed to only give us proof of what we believe. So that means that if I want to see something different, I have to believe something different. So we have to backtrack and we have to change those beliefs. And this is why the power of repetition is so important. It doesn't matter what these doubtful thoughts are. What you want to do is understand them for what they are, release them. Each time they come up, they're going to keep popping up. You let it go, meaning that you turn your attention away from the doubt and you direct your mind towards that new thought that's in alignment with what it is that you want. What thought would I need to think that would override this thought of doubt? What would I need to believe about the world? What would I need to believe about my manifestation? What would I need to believe about myself that's going to override that doubtful thought that keeps popping up? Because it will keep popping up. But again, the less attention you give to it and the less you emotionally react to that thought, the more it's going to leave your existence, right? When it's no longer a subconscious program, it no longer shows up in your physical reality, meaning that it's going to become so much easier to believe the new program when you don't have that evidence in front of you. And this is how you shift into a new reality, is you recognize that what you're seeing today is part of the illusion. And because of that, when I'm transitioning to a new reality, of course, feelings of doubt, thoughts of doubt are going to pop up. That's how this works. But when I understand it for what it is, I can override it. The other thing that he says is tell no man of your spiritual romance. So what he's saying is when you conjure the idea of something, right, don't tell people about it. The reason why is because when we tell people about the things that we are trying to create or the things that we are trying to manifest, especially people who have their own doubts, those are going to be reflected back to you through their words, through their actions, or through their body language. So understand that when you are bringing something into fruition, that especially something that you don't yet believe, it's best not to tell other people because other people are going to reflect back to you that lack of belief that you have. So when you begin to start to believe something, what you'll notice is that other people begin to back you. Other people begin to agree that it is possible for you. And this is actually something that happened with me personally with my business, is when I first started this, I was working for an independent contractor in a completely different industry. And I had told a few family members about my ideas of starting a business online. And I got so much pushback and so much negativity and so much criticism. I was very surprised because I did believe that these were people who truly cared about me. But what I recognized afterwards was that it wasn't really about them. It was about my own doubt that was being reflected back to me. And so it wasn't until I started to get results in my business and I started to really build that internal belief where I got to a point where I didn't need someone to say, Kailyn, you can do this. And when I didn't need someone to say, Kailyn, you can do this, that's when people started acknowledging my efforts, right? And so when you're manifesting something, just keep it to yourself, right? Keep it to yourself until you see something manifest in the physical world, because it's going to save you a lot of stress and a lot of headache. This video is essentially a reminder that everything is possible when we use our imagination and we're willing to step beyond our current belief systems, because that's what's necessary for us to be able to see that shift and see that change. So I hope that this breakdown of Neville's quote was helpful for you guys today. If it was, be sure to give me a thumbs up, go down below, subscribe, hit the bell to get my notifications. If you guys are interested in working with me one-on-one, like I said before, I have a 3-week and a 6-week program, and I'm here to help you overcome your self-limiting beliefs and begin to see those results. Because trust me, there was a point in time where I was so stuck, I was so lost. I didn't understand why I kept spinning in the hamster wheel. And so when I started to learn about energy, I started to learn about manifestation, I started to learn about spirituality and tied all of these things together and started having my own breakthroughs, I knew that I wanted to teach other people how to do this. Because you may not feel that it's possible for you right now, but I promise you that it is. So if you guys are interested, again, the information is going to be down below. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Take care.